How to store dehydrated seasoning for rice. Can it stay at room temperature, or do I need to store it in the refrigerator? Can it be stored in the freezer? In this video, we bring some tips on how to store dry rice seasoning to prevent it from getting moldy or spoiling quickly. Tips for storing dehydrated seasoning for rice. Dehydrated seasonings for rice are products that tend to have a long shelf life if kept away from moisture and heat sources. Therefore, the ideal is to leave it at room temperature in a cool and dry place. If stored correctly, dehydrated seasoning for rice can last almost 2 years at room temperature without spoiling. You need to be very careful with mold, as it can appear without you noticing. If it has been stored for a long time, check it well before using. In addition, if the package has been opened, it is important to place the packet of rice seasoning or just the seasoning itself inside an airtight container. This should be done to minimize contact with air as much as possible, which causes oxidation of the dehydrated seasoning. It is not recommended to store seasoning for rice, dehydrated, in the refrigerator, as when you go to use it, water condensation may occur inside the package in the form of droplets due to the temperature change. This will moisten your seasoning and increase the risk of mold appearing. Avoid storing it in the refrigerator. Can I freeze rice seasoning? The problem with the freezer is the same as with the refrigerator. You can store it there if you have no other way to preserve it, but you will be increasing the risk of causing moisture inside the package. This is because when you take it out to use, water will condense inside the package, wetting your seasoning. Therefore, avoid freezing it in the freezer. For those who have no choice, vacuum seal it, which will reduce the risk of moistening the seasoning. How to know if the dehydrated rice seasoning has spoiled. Normally, dehydrated rice seasoning does not spoil. What happens is that it loses its flavor over time. You can check by placing a little in the palm of your hand and rubbing it. If you can smell and taste it, it means it will still pass aroma to the rice. If you don't sense anything, discard it. But be careful. Do not do this if there is mold on the seasoning. Discard it, as it can be dangerous to your health.